Video game music on Piano for Scrubs. This is Ryu's ending, or Ryu's ending from Street Fighter 2. PCC Duran version, Super Turbo version. And we'll play it really quick with some mistakes, and then we'll talk about it. Okay, the first part, the first half of this, the first 30 seconds is pretty, relatively easy. I was able to figure it out on my own a long time ago. And the second part, I just kind of played my own version of it because the chords are kind of weird and I couldn't really figure it out. And so I just looked at this, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago finally. And the second half is a lot more complicated and a lot more interesting musically than I saw that it was. So let's see. So this is B minor. So the first half is pretty easy. So as usual, generally I'm just playing power chords with my left hand. You know, wherever the chord is, I'm just playing that power chord on my left hand. So got B and F sharp here. This is the key of B minor, and then E. So this is just E major, and then B minor. So make sure to play that A, get that A in here for the, that's how it is on the record. Okay, B minor again, E, and now F sharp major, and then just play the arpeggio. Just play all the notes of the 3 notes of the major chord. And then G major, A major, F sharp major again, G major, A. So on the game, on the record, this is. But I like it. I think it sounds better with a G bass here. So I play the A, G bass, and then D major, and then same thing. Just run an arpeggio up, major. So D. So however you want to run the D major arpeggio here. D, F sharp, and A. So just something like that, and then G. A major, F sharp major, G major, A major. Just play the E on the top of the A major, and then B major. So this is a cool little key change here. Alright, so that's the first half. First half is pretty easy, because it's all just major and minor chords, without much, not too much in between. Yeah, so the second half is I used to just play this So that's like only half. That's only half right. So looking at the bass, so I always, I was taught that, if you're really trying to figure a song out, just start with what the bass is doing, and then you can probably, figure out the skeleton of the songs. That's pretty much what I do. So this is it. So we got the B major, and then B in the F sharp, my left hand. Okay, so this is, oops. I know I didn't play that the first time I played through, but it's just easy. It's just easier for me to do that because I get my hand in the D major position here, so I can play this. So this is how I came up to play it. There's obviously, some synths completing like the major chords, the major minor chords. I just pretty much play like the melody with my right hand because I just learned this part of the song. So if you want to fill in with more with your right hand, definitely there's a lot more going on there, and by all means. So here's how the bass goes. So the bass goes E, A, D, G, C sharp, F sharp, B. And then pretty much it pretty much does that twice. So the right hand, so again, I'm just playing the melody with my right hand, and I'm leaving some stuff out. I think this might be pretty common, I guess, but I think the background synth, I think it's playing, so like whatever the note is, if the note is like E, if the chord is E, chord is like E minor, I think the synth is usually playing the third and the fifth. So in this case, if it was like an E minor chord, which is E, G, and B, like the synths going on would be playing the G and the B. So the ending sounds like really happy, so it's part of my confusion without like seriously looking at this, because I just thought it was like a G major, but it's actually an E minor chord, and if you follow the bass, this is how you figure this stuff out. So now we have the bass, we got the bass chord progression, the bass progression, and again, I just play the melody. So I get my hand in this D major with my thumb on D and my pinky on A, so I can just keep this shape, because this is what I came up with the left hand, and to deal with me not playing the synths with any part of my right hand, and I'm just playing single notes with my right hand. So so that's the start of the melody, but I just play it. So what I kind of came up with, like when I learned this like 2 weeks ago or whatever, is I want the bass to come out like very strongly. So I just play, and like this kind of octave, this kind of region down here, I play the single bass note, and then I move my left hand up an octave to play the full chord. So this is my version of like having the synths to kind of give this like the character that it's supposed to have. So so the chords are E minor. So the chords are E minor, key chord, E minor, A, D major, and then G, and then E minor, A. Well, no, we'll take a look at it because that chord's different actually, and it's the bass that gives the character. So let's just play it. Okay, so now you know what I'm doing. I'm playing the single bass, and then I'm playing the actual chord with my left hand right after. So there's our E minor, A major, D major, G major, and then C major bass, C sharp bass, and I'm 100% sure about this because I was like, I didn't know what this was at first, so this is it's a C sharp bass with an E minor. So this is actually called, oh shoot, I had to ask someone what actually this is called. I think it's like C sharp minor 7th flat 5. I think this is what this is called. I had never seen this before. So basically I just play, and this is part of why I play the bass, I just play the single bass and I move up an octave to play the chord, because it's just easier for me to process and play. And the melody being the same here with the right hand. F sharp. So in this case you can't play, I'm pretty sure this is what I'm hearing. So this is F sharp minor. So it's F sharp, A, and C sharp. I know that the other one is like, oh, it was the same chord except it has a different bass. So that was C sharp with an E minor. But I don't think you can do F sharp and an A major chord. I don't think this is what the chord is doing. I don't think it's doing that, but I could be wrong. So I play the F sharp. Now this is just B minor. So this, just to make it a little easier on myself, I play the B bass with my pinky, and then I play the D and the F sharp. And the second chord here is actually B major. So it's B minor, B major. I haven't really come up with a good way to kind of make that B major pop like I think it does, like on the recording. So this is the best I do for now. So B minor. So you could do like B bass. That doesn't sound right, you know. So that's just all I do. So then we start over. So that was the same, but this is different now. So instead of this is definitely not an F sharp minor. This is this is what I pick out of this, because you need something to resolve to the B that's gonna finish on a B major chord. So I think it sounds like, from listening to the synth, it sounds like it's doing like F sharp, C sharp, and E, because this resolves to the B really nicely. These two resolve to the B, you know. So I think that's what it's doing. Oops. And then it just does the B. So then just whatever B arpeggio you want there. It's just, remember, you're just using B and D sharp and F sharp. So just any combination of those keys all the way up the keyboard. Yeah, so that is pretty much it. I'm pretty sure, I mean, the bass is definitely right. I'm pretty sure those chords are all right. The F sharp minor is the only one I'm a little fuzzy on, but I think that's what it is. And again, that ending, it's definitely, at first I was keeping the B inside this chord, whatever this chord is called, with the B, but I think it sounds, I don't think it has the B in there on the recording, and that resolves, I think that resolves a little more nicely, I guess. Yeah, so, yeah, the song, I don't know, it's always just meant a lot to me. And the PC CD-ROM version by Game Tech, I think it's got the best version of this that I've still ever heard. It's like a nice MIDI piano version of this, and so that's the version that I'm playing. So it's got some differences, I think, from the arcade version and the original Street Fighter II CPS-1 version, but I don't know what they are, because I listen to the PC CD-ROM one all the time. That's what I've been listening to for like 20 years. And yeah, the song, it means a lot to me, because I used to run what was like an international fighting game competition championship called Seasons Beatings, and we did that for 7 years, and kind of decided that we just didn't, weren't going to continue doing it. And the last big event that we had at like our original venue, which was like, come like awesome and like nice and cozy, and we'd fit like 600 people in there. Yeah, one of our Marvel players, Marvel 2, the real Marvel, Fnatic. He was a great piano player, and he recorded a version of this that we could play during the stream to kind of like say goodbye to like that venue and everything. I think that was like 2011. So like that really meant, that like means a lot to me. And then at my wedding, actually, this is what we walked down the aisle to. My friend at our church is like this really talented piano player. I'll have to link to some of his stuff. He plays a lot of video game music during service, and he learned all these really nice like emotional like video game classic video game songs for me for our wedding, and it was just really lovely. And I have that on tape. I'm so happy. Yeah, so this song means a lot to me. I'm really happy that I could finish learning it, and not just half-ass the ending, but do it do it right. So again, if you can give me some tips on like some different things I could do with my right hand that besides just the melody in that second half, or think of something better I could do than just play the bass and then play the chord an octave above with my left hand, I would appreciate any feedback that you had for me. And sorry, it looks like I reset this so many times it looks like it got a little crooked. But yeah, so that's Ryu's ending from Street Fighter 2. I'm glad I could finally get it down. And on the pronunciation, my friend who I went to Japan with was basically like, well, no, it's tough to say correctly in English because, we're not all Japanese speakers. So it's not Ryu, like kangaroo. It's not Ryu, like Street Fighter, the movie Ryu. It's, he described it to me as like more of like a soft D is the R in this case. So it's more like a D. That's the best I can do with my limited Japanese. So don't give me any angry comments about I said, Ryu wrong. Like, I know how it's pronounced. I don't have that vocabulary to pronounce it like a native Japanese person, so I'm sorry. But I hope that was helpful. It's just a really lovely song, and we'll see you next time.